Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The feelings expressed on a person's face. The visual percept of a region. A distinct feature or element in a problem. A characteristic to be considered. The beginning or duration or completion or repetition of the action of a verb. A word or phrase that particular people use in particular situations. Pardon the expression. The communication, in speech or writing, of your beliefs or opinions. Expressions of goodwill. A group of symbols that make a mathematical statement. The feelings expressed on a person's face. A sad expression. The style of expressing yourself. His manner of expression showed how much he cared. Expression without words. Tears are an expression of grief. A group of words that form a constituent of a sentence and are considered as a single unit. Genetics, the process of expressing a gene. The act of forcing something out by squeezing or pressing. The expression of milk from her breast. A contorted facial expression. A specific size and style of type within a type family. A pose, as in hostility or a competition. Jackson faced Smith in the boxing ring. The feelings expressed on a person's face. An angry face. A surface forming part of the outside of an object. Dew dripped from the face of the leaf. Be oriented in a certain direction, often with respect to another reference point, be opposite to. The building faces the park. The front of the human head from the forehead to the chin and ear to ear. He washed his face. Impudent aggressiveness. Deal with something unpleasant, head on. He faced the terrible consequences of his mistakes. Present somebody with something, usually to accuse or criticize. He was faced with all the evidence and could no longer deny his actions. A part of a person that is used to refer to a person. He looked out at a room full of faces. A vertical surface of a building or cliff. Be opposite. The two sofas face each other. Cover the front or surface of. The building was faced with beautiful stones. Line the edge of a garment with a different material. Face the lapels of the jacket. Status in the eyes of others. He lost face. The general outward appearance of something. The face of the city is changing. The part of an animal corresponding to the human face. The side upon which the use of a thing depends, usually the most prominent surface of an object. He dealt the cards face down. The striking or working surface of an implement. Turn so as to expose the face. Face a playing card. Turn so as to face. Turn the face in a certain direction. Turn and face your partner now. The feelings expressed on a person's face. A gesture executed with the facial muscles. Take charge of or deal with. The general atmosphere of a place or situation and the effect that it has on people. Have faith or confidence in. Give a certain impression or have a certain outward aspect. This project looks fishy. Look forward to the probable occurrence of. She is looking to a promotion. The feelings expressed on a person's face. A look of triumph. Be oriented in a certain direction, often with respect to another reference point, be opposite to. The house looks north. Search or seek. We looked all day and finally found the child in the forest. The act of directing the eyes toward something and perceiving it visually. He went out to have a look. Accord in appearance with. You don't look your age. Convey by one's expression. She looked her devotion to me. Have a certain outward or facial expression. How does she look? Perceive with attention. Direct one's gaze towards. She looked over the expanse of land. Physical appearance. I don't like the looks of this place. The visual percept of a region. A picture, or series of pictures, representing a continuous scene. The possibility of future success. His prospects as a writer are excellent. Someone who is considered for something, for an office or prize or honor, etc. The visual percept of a region. Belief about, or mental picture of, the future. A prediction of the course of a disease. Explore for useful or valuable things or substances, such as minerals. Search for something desirable. Prospect a job. The context and environment in which something is set. Graphic art consisting of the graphic or photographic representation of a visual percept. He painted scenes from everyday life. A situation treated as an observable object. The religious scene in England has changed in the last century. The visual percept of a region. The painted structures of a stage set that are intended to suggest a particular locale. They worked all night painting the scenery. A display of bad temper. He made a scene. A consecutive series of pictures that constitutes a unit of action in a film. An incident, real or imaginary. Their parting was a sad scene. A subdivision of an act of a play. The first act has 3 scenes. The place where some action occurs. The police returned to the scene of the crime. The act of looking or seeing or observing. He tried to get a better view of it. See or watch. View a show on television. Graphic art consisting of the graphic or photographic representation of a visual percept. Figure 2 shows photographic and schematic views of the equipment. Look at carefully, study mentally. View a problem. A way of regarding situations or topics, etc. Consider what follows from the positivist view. The range of the eye. They were soon out of view. A personal belief or judgment that is not founded on proof or certainty. The visual percept of a region. The most desirable feature of the park are the beautiful views. A message expressing a belief about something. The expression of a belief that is held with confidence but not substantiated by positive knowledge or proof. Deemed to be. She views this quite differently from me. The range of interest or activity that can be anticipated. Outward appearance. They look the same in outward view. Purpose. The phrase, with a view to, means, with the intention of, or, for the purpose of. He took the computer with a view to pawning it. The visual percept of a region. A distinct feature or element in a problem. He studied every facet of the question. A smooth surface, as of a bone or cut gemstone. The appearance conveyed by a person's face. A stern visage. The human face, kisser, and smiler, and mug, are informal terms for face, and phiz is British. The appearance conveyed by a person's face. A pleasant countenance. The human face, kisser, and smiler, and mug, are informal terms for face, and phiz is British. Formal and explicit approval. Consent to, give permission. A percept that arises from the eyes, an image in the visual system. A mental image that is similar to a visual perception. A percept that arises from the eyes, an image in the visual system. A prominent attribute or aspect of something. The map showed roads and other features. The principal, full-length film in a program at a movie theater. The feature tonight is Casablanca. Linguistics. A distinctive characteristic of a linguistic unit that serves to distinguish it from other units of the same kind. Have as a feature. This restaurant features the most famous chefs in France. A special or prominent article in a newspaper or magazine. They ran a feature on retirement planning. Wear or display in an ostentatious or proud manner. The characteristic parts of a person's face, eyes and nose and mouth and chin. An expression of pleasure crossed his features. An article of merchandise that is displayed or advertised more than other articles. A prominent attribute or aspect of something. Generosity is one of his best characteristics. Any measurable property of a device measured under closely specified conditions. A distinguishing quality. The integer part, positive or negative, of the representation of a logarithm. In the expression log 643 equals 2.808, the characteristic is 2. Typical or distinctive. Heard my friend's characteristic laugh. The linguistic relation established by grammar. Merriment expressed by a brightness or gleam or animation of countenance. There's a perpetual twinkle in his eyes. Emit or reflect light in a flickering manner. Does a constellation twinkle more brightly than a single star? Gleam or glow intermittently. A rapid change in brightness. A brief spark or flash. The quality of being luminous. Emitting or reflecting light. Having abundant light or illumination. They played as long as it was light. Merriment expressed by a brightness or gleam or animation of countenance. Weak and likely to lose consciousness. Felt light in the head. Marked by temperance and indulgence. A light eater. Having relatively few calories. Light, or light, beer. A condition of spiritual awareness, divine illumination. Follow God's light. Fall to somebody by assignment or lot. Physics, electromagnetic radiation that can produce a visual sensation. The light was filtered through a soft glass window. Used of vowels or syllables, pronounced with little or no stress. A syllable that ends in a short vowel is a light syllable. Cause to start burning, subject to fire or great heat. With few burdens. Experienced travelers travel light. Start or maintain a fire in. A divine presence believed by Quakers to enlighten and guide the soul. Moving easily and quickly, nimble. The dancer was light and graceful. Make lighter or brighter. This lamp lightens the room a bit. The visual effect of illumination on objects or scenes is created in pictures. He could paint the lightest light and the darkest dark. A device for lighting or igniting fuel or charges or fires. Do you have a light? To come to rest, settle. Misfortune lighted upon him. Of sleep, easily disturbed. In a light doze. Casual and unrestrained in sexual behavior. He was told to avoid loose, or light, women. Of sound or color, free from anything that dulls or dims. A light lilting voice like a silver bell. The light from a horse. Silly or trivial. Light banter. Any device serving as a source of illumination. He stopped the car and turned off the lights. Less than the correct or legal or full amount, often deliberately so. A light pound. Used of color, having a relatively small amount of coloring agent. Light blue. Begin to smoke. An illuminated area. He stepped into the light. A particular perspective or aspect of a situation. Although he saw it in a different light, he still did not understand. A person regarded very fondly. The light of my life. A visual warning signal. They saw the light of the beacon. Characterized by or emitting light. A room that is light when the shutters are open. Demanding little effort, not burdensome. Light housework. Designed for ease of movement or to carry little weight. Light aircraft. Easily assimilated in the alimentary canal, not rich or heavily seasoned. A light diet. Having little importance. Losing his job was no light matter. Intended primarily as entertainment, not serious or profound. Light verse. Mental understanding as an enlightening experience. He finally saw the light. Of comparatively little physical weight or density. A light load. Of little intensity or power or force. The light touch of her fingers. Of the military or industry, using, or being, relatively small or light arms or equipment. Light infantry. Physics, chemistry, not having atomic weight greater than average. Light water as ordinary water. Psychologically light, especially free from sadness or troubles. A light heart. Public awareness. It brought the scandal to light. Used of soil, loose and large-grained in consistency. Light soil. Very thin and insubstantial. Light summer dresses. Not great in degree or quantity or number. A light sentence. Merriment expressed by a brightness or gleam or animation of countenance. He had a sparkle in his eye. Put in motion or move to act. Emit or produce sparks. A high-tension wire, brought down by a storm, can continue to spark. Electrical conduction through a gas in an applied electric field. A momentary flash of light. Scottish writer of satirical novels, born in 1918. A small but noticeable trace of some quality that might become stronger. A spark of interest. A small fragment of a burning substance thrown out by burning material or by friction. Merriment expressed by a brightness or gleam or animation of countenance. He had a sparkle in his eye. Emit or produce sparks. The occurrence of a small flash or spark. Reflect brightly. Unquarried marble sparkled on the hillside. Be lively or brilliant or exhibit virtuosity. The musical performance sparkled. The quality of shining with a bright reflected light. Become bubbly or frothy or foaming. A facial expression of contempt or scorn. The upper lip curls. A suggestive or sneering look or grin. Look suggestively or obliquely. Look or gaze with a sly, a modest, or malign expression. The men leered at the young women on the beach. The part of a scene between the foreground and the background. Material in the top layer of the surface of the earth in which plants can grow, especially with reference to its quality or use. The part of a scene, or picture, that lies behind objects in the foreground. He posed her against a background of rolling hills. A rational motive for a belief or action. The grounds for their declaration. Hit or reach the ground. A relation that provides the foundation for something. Cover with a primer. Apply a primer to. A connection between an electrical device and a large conducting body, such as the Earth, which is taken to be at zero voltage. Fix firmly and stably. Use as a basis for, found on. Bring to the ground. The storm grounded the ship. The solid part of the Earth's surface. He dropped the logs on the ground. The loose soft material that makes up a large part of the land surface. The first or preliminary coat of paint or size applied to a surface. A position to be won or defended in battle, or as if in battle. They gained ground step by step. A relatively homogeneous percept extending back of the figure on which attention is focused. Art. The surface, as a wall or canvas, prepared to take the paint for a painting. Confine or restrict to the ground. After the accident, they grounded the plane and the pilot. Connect to a ground. Ground the electrical connections for safety reasons. Hit a ground ball. He grounded to the second baseman. Hit onto the ground. Instruct someone in the fundamentals of a subject. Place or put on the ground. Throw to the ground in order to stop play and avoid being tackled behind the line of scrimmage. A quick look. A brief or incomplete view. From the window he could catch a glimpse of the lake. A vague indication. He caught only a glimpse of the professor's meaning. Catch a glimpse of or see briefly. We glimpsed the Queen as she got into her limousine. Move into the foreground to make more visible or prominent. Computer science. A window for an active application. The part of a scene that is near the viewer. A group of people attractively arranged, as if in a painting. Any dramatic scene. The state of being vulnerable or exposed. His exposure to ridicule. A representation of a person or scene in the form of a print or transparent slide or in digital format. Abandoning without shelter or protection, as by leaving an infant out in the open. Aspect resulting from the direction a building or window faces. The studio had a northern exposure. Presentation to view in an open or public manner. The exposure of his anger was shocking. The act of exposing film to light. The act of subjecting someone to an influencing experience. She denounced the exposure of children to pornography. The disclosure of something secret. They feared exposure of their campaign plans. The intensity of light falling on a photographic film or plate. He used the wrong exposure. Vulnerability to the elements, to the action of heat or cold or wind or rain. Exposure to the weather. The act of moving smoothly along a surface while remaining in contact with it. The children lined up for a coast down the snowy slope. The shore of a sea or ocean. A slope down which sleds may coast. When it snowed, they made a coast on the golf course. Move effortlessly, by force of gravity. The area within view. The coast is clear. Understate the importance or quality of. The part of a scene, or picture, that lies behind objects in the foreground. He posed her against a background of rolling hills. Scenery hung at back of stage. Computer science. The area of the screen in graphical user interfaces against which icons and windows appear. The state of the environment in which a situation exists. Information that is essential to understanding a situation or problem. The embassy filled him in on the background of the incident. Extraneous signals that can be confused with the phenomenon to be observed or measured. They got a bad connection and could hardly hear one another over the background signals. A person's social heritage, previous experience or training. He is a lawyer with a sports background. Relatively unimportant or inconspicuous accompanying situation. When the rain came, he could hear the sound of thunder in the background.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.